Hey there guitar players, in today's lesson I'm going to be talking to you about a melodic minor. So I've been asked about this by a number of students because on my advanced guitar program, once we've been through things like the modes of the major scale and we do a lot of work on how to use all of that stuff, the next thing that I move on to is the melodic minor scale. Because if you're playing fusion and all of them sorts of modern type styles, it's a scale that comes up quite a lot, and I have to be honest that I found it a real struggle to understand melodic minor. And when I say understand, not theoretically, it was more like just on the fretboard. I was like, what's going on with this? So coming from a hard rock and neoclassical background, a transition from major scale modes to harmonic minor I found quite easy. And you're like, you can think about this as when you look at your Aeolian mode, your natural minor scale, that has a 1 or 2 flat 3, 4 5 flat 6, flat 7. That full scale on the fretboard looks like this. The harmonic minor scale changes just one note. What we do with harmonic minor is we raise the 7th. So we get 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, major 7. Now melodic minor, that only changes one note from the Dorian mode. So a Dorian mode is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Now if you play fusion, you're going to come up with that all the time. I played in a little jazz duo for a while. I say it was a jazzy fusiony kind of duo, and yeah, we had played loads of tunes that had vamps that would go on for a massive amount of bars, and you'd always find that they were a minor 7. It would be like minor 7, minor 11, minor 9. You play Dorian on that stuff for ages and it just sounds jazzy, right? So the difference between Dorian and a melodic minor is one note. So we had Aeolian to harmonic minor, change one note. Dorian to melodic minor is change one note. So where Dorian was 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, melodic minor is exactly the same, but you raise the 7th. So you've got 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, major 7. Now for me, I always found that a very, very difficult scale to understand the sound of and map on the fretboard. And that was mainly because in my world I hadn't listened to enough stuff that had melodic minor in it. Like melodic minor is very common in jazz and it's used quite a lot in fusion and them sorts of things. But to me, when I was hearing people like Greg Howe or Frank Gambale using melodic minor, I just kind of heard it as like an outsidey sort of sound. Like in my head, I was just like, oh, that's just the thing that's all a bit different. But what you need to do, you need to hear it against a melodic minor backing. So what you do is you basically learn this the same way that you learn all of your other modes and all that stuff. So here is a melodic minor backing. It's a lovely backing track from Tom's Backing Tracks, a good YouTube channel. I like this. Nice fusiony style melodic minor track. So what I'm going to now do is play that scale against the track. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, personally, I use both the caged system and the 3 notes per string system for my style of playing. I always found that the caged system was a little bit tricky for me to learn melodic minor in because of the fact at some points with that major 7 you get things like this. So on the top bit there, we've got 4 notes per string. And I always found that was a little bit odd for the way that I play. So what made more sense to me was just the 3 notes per string. I like that 3 notes per string thing for this scale. But that doesn't mean to say that that's right. That means to say that that's what works for me. I think you should learn caged and 3 notes per string because they do have their both valid points. But something that helped me to learn it full fretboard, I recommend that all of my students play on a single string and stuff like that. But to help with positional playing, I realised that there was a connection between melodic minor modes and modes of the major scale. So, for example, the Dorian mode is... In melodic minor, we have Dorian flat 2. So I was like, oh, if I just see that shape as a Dorian mode and then flat the 2, I can just play the shape. And that made a lot more sense. So then I just, rather than think about it as the modal name, eventually I got to a point where I could go, I'll just shape 2 of melodic minor, shape 3. Shape 3 is technically shape 1 of Lydian augmented. So you sharpen a 5. We've also got Lydian dominant. Lydian flat 6 off of the E. Aeolian flat 5 off of F sharp. And then Superloquian on a G sharp. The thing is though, that's just naming the modes of melodic minor in A, and that was how I got to a point I could sort of remember the shapes. But if I'm playing in shape 7, which would be technically your G sharp Superloquian shape, I don't think of it like that. I still think from the A, and I just think, oh, it's shape 7 of melodic minor, because then that way you think about the notes correctly within the shape. But the point is, it was thinking that way helped me learn the shapes, and then you can start making vocabulary. So I hope that's been helpful, guys. Do give the video a like and subscribe to the channel so you see more of this stuff as and when it comes out. Do check out Cutting Edge Guitar, my online learning platform, because I'm sure that there's plenty of stuff there that will help you out even further, and I'll look forward to seeing you in another lesson sometime soon. Take care.